Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, Tiger Tank 12, how many call me, I don't really care. Welcome back to World of Tanks related content, and we're going to be talking about the Battle Pass Season 9. Now, I wanted to talk about the Battle Pass and the new crew members and maybe some of the styles, but it actually turns out I have to talk about something that is a lot more pressing and that really needs some clarification because it's going to be a very anti-consumer thing that will be coming with Battle Pass Season 9. And I'm going to show you guys when the Battle Pass comes live, how they've changed those things around, and we're going to debate and talk about why Wargaming is basically one of the worst gaming companies out on the planet right now. So, before we do that, let me clarify one thing. First and foremost, thank you very much for all of the responses that I've gotten on the video that I made about World of Tanks and the Vipera and the patch that has been released last week. Now, I don't want to be constantly complaining about World of Tanks, and I don't want this game to fail. Don't get me wrong, I love World of Tanks, I have invested a lot of money and time into this game, and I love this game very dearly. I want it to thrive, I want it to be a good game. But my faith in the company behind World of Tanks is just no longer there. And I think we have to be realistic that World of Tanks might never be better. It might never be as much fun as it was back then. And that's fine, things change. But what I think is really important is that we have a clear picture of what is going on behind the scenes and what some of these changes really mean. And that's why I have to be critical. I have to voice my opinion on these things because at least I want to be honest with you guys with the things that I do not like about the game. I'm not trying to garner views and clicks and subscribers. This channel has been around for 10 years now. I've made videos for 10 years and it never was about the numbers. It has never been. If it was all about the numbers, I wouldn't have made a World of Tanks YouTube channel probably. But I still think we, at least as players of World of Tanks who have been around for quite a long time, we deserve to talk about these things and have our own critical opinion on the game because there are a lot of issues at hand. So I wanted to talk about the Battle Pass, but the Battle Pass is not important at all. They're going to be making some changes to the personal reserves, and this just shows you how anti-consumer Wargaming have actually become on World of Tanks. Now, the personal reserves that we currently are having in World of Tanks, they are a feature that has been in the game for a couple of years now. I have over 2,000-3,000 personal reserves. I do use them occasionally when I'm grinding, like credits probably will pop like some personal reserves, and they are nice to have, and they haven't changed them in any way or form in a very long time. Usually, whenever they are selling premium tanks, they're selling bundles, these personal reserves are always going to be like one of those staple things that they sell with the tank. So what are they going to be changing, and what changes will we have to endure with the personal reserves? So all personal reserves will have a duration of 1 hour. Now this is very important. They are not just talking about the new personal reserves. They're talking about all personal reserves. All of them, even the ones that we own. So if I go into World of Tanks real fast, where my account has several thousand personal reserves, you can see quite a few of them are more than 1 hour. I have a couple for 4 hours, 3 hours, a couple for 2 hours, 81 of them, 2 hours, 241 of them, 2 hours, 192 of them. So you can see I have quite a few of these boosters that have more than 1 hour runtime. Basically, when they're 2 hours and they're taking away the 2 hours from you or the 3 hours from you, they're basically just taking away 50% of the booster. And I don't understand how and why they're able to do this, because these boosters or these personal reserves, some of us bought them, right? I didn't really buy them. I got them out of the game over the years I played. I haven't used all of them. I haven't used them. I've used them very rarely. But still, they're taking away about 1 hour of the 2-hour booster. That's 50% of your booster that's gone. So are they going to be, giving us boosters? Like, are they going to just take apart the booster that is 2 hours long and give you 2 of them? Because they're not telling us anything about this. Now, obviously, this is all still subject to change, but the idea behind this is already pretty wrong, if you ask me. Now, they're going to have a dedicated article in the next couple of days, and that's where I'm going to be really diving into this topic. But I think it's really important that we are informed beforehand, and it just kind of underlines for me personally what kind of a shady business deal Wargaming are working out to kind of just make things harder for us. All of these things are to make the grind worse or just to make life a little bit harder on World of Tanks. I don't understand why. So personal reserves for crew XP and free XP will be merged into a single combined type. So this change I don't mind as much, as long as we still get the 100% for free XP and the 100% for crew XP, and they don't just kind of give you like 50% crew XP and 50% free XP. That would suck. I would really not like that. Then moving on, along with the 3 types of personal reserves, there will be 2 grades of bonuses. Standard, 50% to XP, 50% to credits, and improved, 100% to XP, 100% to credits. Now, basically, we have 3 personal reserves. At the moment, there are 4. We have the experience one for the tank. We have the crew experience one, which will be merged into the free XP one afterwards. Crew XP and free XP will be merged into one. We have free XP at the moment, and we have the credit booster. So that's 4 of them. So there are going to be 3 different versions: the crew and free XP, the tank experience, and the credit booster. And all of that together will have 2 grades of bonuses. You have 50%, you're going to have 100%. Now, if we go into World of Tanks real fast and we take a look into it, some of the things are changing. What about 300% on? No, actually, this is still going to remain the same. I don't want to, say some bad shit. But crew and free experience going to be plus 200%. Crew and free experience going to be 300% for the improved. That's going to remain the same. But the 200% for experience earned on the vehicle, for example, that's going to be gone. So use them up before this comes out, because we don't know if it's going to stick with us. So that's going to be one of the things. And the credit booster, basically, they're usually always 50% or 25%. So that's not going to change by a lot. But as you can see, this is probably no longer going to be the case that you're going to get a 200% booster for 3 hours. Newly issued standard personal reserves, including those from Season 9 base rewards, will have an expiration date 1 month after Season 9 ends, but improved personal reserves will not. So, because you have the standard and the improved, 2 different types of reserves now, one of them will have an expiration date. This is one of the worst changes, in my opinion, to the personal reserves. An expiration date is taking away options for your players. You are forcing them to play the game even when they don't want to play the game, because they have to use the boosters whenever they have a chance. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is what I'm gonna tell you. All of the things that we are going to be getting for free in the near future, all of them will be personal reserves of the standard category. You will not be getting the improved category unless you buy it in a bundle. The improved category is only for paying customers, and the standard category is probably not going to be for the paying customer. Keep that in mind. All of them in the new update, all of the newly received personal reserves, the standard personal reserves, will have an expiration date. You'll have a month. Okay, great, it's a month, right? So a month, you have a lot of time, but it has an expiration date. A lot of players have a lot of different personal reserves. Imagine if they get expiration dates on these personal reserves and they just kind of disappear. Are they actually going to change our different personal reserves and put them into these 2 categories? They said newly issued personal reserves will have an expiration date, not the other ones that we already own. So keep an eye on that. If this is a case where they are actually going to take away our personal reserves that we already own, I would probably say that we need to have a serious talk with Wargaming. Once the new mechanics are introduced, all personal reserves on your account will be converted into the new reserves at no loss of value. Personal reserves that are collected as Season 9 base rewards before the implementation of the new mechanics will not have an expiration date after being converted. Moreover, personal reserves that come as improved rewards will never have expiration dates. So they're telling us that everything will be converted into new reserves at no loss of value. So we should be getting all of the things, and we should be getting, if you have a lot of 2 hours, you should be getting a lot of them as a 1 hour kind of personal reserves. So far, this sounds like a big downgrade in several instances. And if they don't keep up with their words, where they're going to take away stuff from us, well, it's going to suck. Now, I don't know why they want to have a different version of the personal reserves, because I think the personal reserves have been working out pretty nicely so far. I've been using them personally for more credits and when I was grinding a vehicle, but I don't like that this is now a new change where it sounds like it's going to be at the expense of the player, at our expense. Now, we don't know all about it right now, but we'll know more when they release a dedicated article on this topic. Now, okay, don't panic now. Don't panic immediately. I know there's a lot of things that have gone kind of tits up in the last couple of weeks, but keep cool. We're going to look into the future and see what happens. I'll inform you. My stance currently is I don't understand why we need changes to the personal reserves. If they want to do some UI changes, they can probably do the UI changes without changing the content behind it. But I guess this is Wargaming. This is their way of making the game harder to play, making the game less enjoyable for players, and I don't really understand why. This expiration date is probably the worst thing that is coming. The 1 hour change sucks, but you can obviously always just, put it in again. You just have to keep it in your head. But the expiration date is the one thing I really dislike from reading this. So tell me what you guys think. I just wanted to cover this one because I think it's important to be informed. And see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, World of Tanks, I'm going to be playing some of the tank destroyers at tier 8. Hopefully everything is going to be fun, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, have a nice week.